Nutty Putty Cave, a hydrothermal system west of Utah Lake, Utah, was discovered in 1960 and named for its unique, soft brown clay. Owned by Sitla and managed by the Utah Timpanogos Grotto, it became a popular destination for cavers, attracting around 5,000 visitors annually. Despite its challenging narrow passages, the very name hinted at the unstable clay that would later complicate a desperate rescue. The cave system stretched 1,400 feet, beginning with a near-vertical descent through a small, 6-foot diameter opening, followed by a tight, 2-foot wide passage. Sections with names like the Big Slide, the Maze, the Birth Canal, the Scout Eater, and the Aorta Crawl spoke to the physical demands and potential dangers within. Many passages required crawling on one's stomach with minimal clearance. The unmapped Ed's Push, or Bob's Push, where tragedy would strike, was a mere 10 inches wide and 18 inches high, descending at a steep angle. The cave's warm, 70-degree temperature added to the disorienting and challenging environment, where slippery clay, underfoot and overhead, was common. Caving inherently carries risks, demanding proper preparation, helmet, reliable lights with backups, sturdy footwear, appropriate clothing, and knee and elbow pads. Safety protocols emphasize never caving alone, recommending groups of 4 to 8, with strict adult supervision for children. Thorough research of the specific cave, understanding its hazards, and informing someone outside of the planned route and return time are crucial. Inside, caution is paramount, avoiding running, being mindful of loose rocks and slippery surfaces, and never entering during or after rain due to flood risk. Leave no trace principles are essential while preserving the delicate cave formations. Nutty Putty had a history of safety concerns, with multiple rescues leading to temporary closures and a permit system in 2006 and early 2009, suggesting its beginner-friendly reputation belied significant dangers. John Edward Jones was 26, a second-year medical student at the University of Virginia with aspirations to become a pediatric cardiologist. Was a devoted husband to Emily and father to a 14-month-old daughter, expecting their second child. Raised in Utah, he shared a great love for the outdoors and caving with his family, particularly his father and brother Josh. Described as good-natured, humorous, hardworking, and deeply connected to his faith, John's prior caving experience, while present, was perhaps overshadowed by the years since his last expedition and a potential underestimation of Nutty Putty's unique challenges. He was interested in finding the birth canal, indicating some prior research, but lacked direct experience with this specific complex system. John's visit on November 24, 2009, was part of a Thanksgiving holiday trip to Utah, a chance to reconnect with family through an activity he fondly remembered from childhood. His expressed curiosity about unexplored sections of the cave revealed his adventurous spirit, a trait that would lead him into a fatal situation. That evening, around 8 p.m., John, Josh, and a group of friends and family entered Nutty Putty. After an hour exploring known areas like the Big Slide, John, Josh, and 2 others ventured deeper in search of the birth canal. Their evening entry and pursuit of a challenging section suggest a degree of confidence that may have underestimated the cave's potential for disorientation and the risks of separating from the larger group in narrow, complex passages. In his search for the birth canal, John made a critical error, entering an unmapped, exceptionally narrow passage near Ed's Push, measuring only 10 by 18 inches and descending at a steep 70-degree angle. John entered head first, assuming it would open up. He crawled 8 feet in before realizing it was a dead end with no room to turn around. Exhaling to squeeze through the initial constriction further complicated his entrapment as his chest naturally expanded. Realizing he was trapped, John desperately tried to back out but couldn't move. Josh's attempt to pull him out by his legs inadvertently worsened the situation, causing John to slide further down and become more tightly wedged, his arms pinned beneath his chest, uttering, "I really, really want to get out." Around 8:45 p.m., Josh left the cave to seek help. It took 3 hours for the first rescue teams to arrive. Over 130 personnel, including experienced cavers, paramedics, firefighters, and sheriff's deputies, worked tirelessly through the night and the following day. 19 hours into the operation, they briefly succeeded in pulling John 12 feet up using a rope and pulley system. This allowed for a brief radio communication with his wife and the provision of food and water, offering a moment of hope. However, this was tragically short-lived. After 24 hours, the anchor point for the pulley system, likely compromised by the unstable clay, failed. John slid back down to his original position. After 27 to 28 hours trapped, John Edward Jones was pronounced dead just before midnight on November 25, 2009. Rescuers faced immense challenges. The extremely narrow, twisting passage. John's location, 400 feet from the entrance, and 100 feet below the surface. His inverted position, causing breathing difficulties and hindering medical aid. The unstable clay that made secured anchors increasingly impossible. And the confined space, allowing only one rescuer at a time. The L-shaped passage obstructing a straight pull, and the surprisingly hard rock, making widening efforts with hand and compressed air tools incredibly slow, with larger equipment unusable. The rescue involved manual pulling attempts, a complex rope and pulley system with redirects, compressed air and hand tools, to chip away rock, consideration of hydraulic jacks, deemed impractical, drilling equipment, deemed ineffective due to space and rock hardness, and even the contemplation of microblasters. A smaller female rescuer was the primary point of contact due to the tight space, offering comfort and communication. Ropes were used to try and secure John's limbs for leverage. The variety of methods highlighted the exhaustive efforts, but the pulley system's failure underscored the unique and overwhelming challenges. The mere consideration of breaking John's legs demonstrated the extreme desperation. The failure stemmed from John's inverted position in the narrow, downward-sloping passage and the unstable cave walls. The pulley system's anchor failure, likely due to the soft clay, negated progress and caused him to slip further. The prolonged inversion led to cardiac arrest after 27 to 28 hours. Even after his death, retrieving his body was deemed too dangerous, risking further lives. The agonizing decision to call off the rescue came at 11:56 p.m. on November 25th, after a paramedic confirmed John's death. The 27-hour effort had failed. Further attempts to retrieve the body were deemed too perilous. In the aftermath, Sitla and John's family made the difficult decision to permanently seal Nutty Putty Cave, with his body remaining inside as his final resting place. This was due to the extreme danger of retrieval and to prevent future tragedies. John's family believed this aligned with his compassionate nature. All entrances were sealed with concrete plugs, and explosives were reportedly used to collapse the Ed's push passage. While contentious within the caving community, it was deemed the most prudent and safest course of action, transforming the cave into a final memorial. John's death had a profound impact on his family, the caving community, and the rescuers, many of whom experienced emotional trauma. PTSD counseling was offered. The tragedy sparked debates about cave safety, access restrictions, and individual responsibility. The permanent closure angered some explorers, including the cave's discoverer, who felt only the dangerous section should have been sealed. Others, including authorities, supported the decision due to the cave's history of rescues. The incident served as a stark reminder of the dangers of exploring unmapped, narrow passages. Memorials honored John. A plaque at the sealed entrance, stating it was a place to honor and respect our brother. Memorial services in Utah and Virginia. A 2016 film, The Last Descent, and the John and Emily Jones Memorial Fund. The sealing of the cave itself became a permanent, sorrowful tribute. John Edward Jones's story is a tragic reminder of the inherent risks of cave exploration, where a wrong turn in a restrictive, unmapped passage can lead to unimaginable consequences. The heroic efforts of rescuers ultimately failed against the unforgiving environment. The permanent closure of Nutty Putty Cave stands as a testament to the allure and the potential dangers of the subterranean world, underscoring the vital importance of preparation, information, and respect for nature's power. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this.
It's London Lee.